What's good, Commanders fans, and happy Friday. So the news has come out that Marcus Mariota will start. This is from Dan Quinn. He did say, oh, of course, my computer refreshes for whatever reason. He did say that Jayden Daniels did run on the grass. So he said Jayden Daniels is not playing this Sunday. Hey, head coach Dan Quinn reiterating that they want to be smart and not fast in the decision to play Jayden. He also said he said Jayden Daniels was running on the grass today, a good sign, but he would not elaborate on the specific need. This is per Ben Standing on Twitter. The first one was per Candace Walls. The tweet she also tweeted out that head coach Dan Quinn not going into specifics about Jayden Daniels' knee injury, reiterating he's not a doctor, really just wanting to be sure that he can do all the things that Jayden really can do before he returns to gameplay. And this is the smart decision. I said this on Monday. Was it Monday when the MRI news came out? They didn't say what it was, but Dan Quinn did his presser, and especially Wednesday when he didn't do the presser. I know last year it was kind of the same thing where Marcus Mariota did the press conference in the middle of the week on Wednesday, and then Jayden didn't practice on Thursday. But Dan Quinn said that Jayden was like a tough person, tough ASS person or something like that. I think on either Friday or Saturday he said that. But I just had a feeling, just looking at the injury too, looking at the hip drop, the knee is so much different from ribs from last year. Especially when Jayden is a dual threat quarterback. He scrambled the most in the league last year. He got hit the most. He was the quarterback that got hit the most in the league last year. He had 800 something rushing yards last year. Led the team in rushing last year. You do not want to put a guy who is wired to run on a 4th and 3 or a 3rd and 3 and run for a first down or even a 2nd and 9, where Josh Connolly gives up pressure and he's trying to run to get as many yards as he can, and he's hurt by a hip drop tackle. Hip drop tackles they're the worst. They're one of the worst tackles. That's why that and horse collaring. That's why they're illegal, and they take guys out. Chris Godwin last year broke an ankle. A couple of guys that got hurt by hip drop tackles over the last couple seasons. So Mark Andrews, like on the first game of the season against the Bengals, was taken out for a couple of games, or almost the majority of the season from a hip drop tackle. So those are serious, dangerous tackles, and when it happens, guys are out for a while. And I don't know if that was specifically the play where he sprained his knee. I could be talking about this situation for a long time. I do want to get to the game preview. But this is safe, and I get it. RG3 thing from 13 years ago now. And if he's playing with a brace, I'd rather not see him out there either with a bulky brace on. And this is the smart thing to do. Do not rush him back for a week 3 game against the Raiders. That is a winnable game with Marcus Mariota. That's not smart. You got to think about the long haul. Him being a 10-year franchise quarterback instead of this warrior mentality. I get it, it's football. So you got to have that warrior mentality that you play through injuries. But you got to be smart, man. You don't want to go back out there and force it, and you're not 100%, and then you re-aggravate the injury or make it even worse, like we saw 13 years ago. So that is the smart move by Dan Quinn, Jayden Daniels, his mama, whoever collectively made the decision, the training staff, Josh Harris, Adam Peters. That is the smart decision to have him sit out. And they still specifically didn't say what it was. I think they did say it was a sprain, or I think Ian Rappaport had to come out and disclose that information, because we know Dan Quinn's not going to say that. But we don't know if it's a PCL sprain, MCL sprain, or whatever. But that is the smart move for him to sit, get fully healthy, and who knows, he may have to sit the Falcons game. Who knows? We'll see. But that's a smart move rather than just rushing him back out there. That's just my thoughts on it. And it's for the long haul for him being a franchise guy instead of just winning a week 3 game, which is very important. Don't get me wrong. Against the Raiders on Sunday. So, and Marcus Mariota, like I say, he's very capable. The captains of this week are Laramie Tunsil, Daron Payne, Percy Butler. Marcus Mariota came in and played very well against the Panthers as a backup with relief when Jayden went out with a rib injury. Then Jayden got sat against Dallas. He threw the game-winning touchdown again to Terry McLaurin on Deron Bland. And then also he had a 30-yard run on a 4th and 1. So Marcus Mariota, the only thing about Marcus is that he didn't play any preseason games. He did not, and he didn't play, he barely played the preseason last year anyway. But the only thing with him is that he didn't play much in training camp because of the Achilles concern that he had. So he just hasn't played a lot of football, but he's been in the league forever. I mean, he's won a playoff game, former second pick of the draft. And he's such a good mentor for Jayden, too. Just gives great advice. Like the Falcons game when he came in and told Jayden when Jayden was tired. And then Jayden throws a touchdown on the next 2 plays or whatever, and we win in overtime. So Marcus is so important to this team. That's why you got to have a good backup. And you don't have to change the plays because he's a dual threat quarterback. just like Jayden Daniels. So do want to get a quick word from Sleeper, and then we're going to get into the more of the injury report and keys to victory. Shout out to today's sponsor, Sleeper. What's good, Commanders fans? Just wanted to give you guys a great deal with the promo code Oliver for Sleeper. Make sure you guys check out the Sleeper app. First time users, you get 100% deposit match up to $100 for your first time using Sleeper. Sleeper is a great fantasy app for all sports, especially the NFL, for more or less on player projections. You pick the more or less on the projections like Terry McLaurin. Receptions, you can pick the more on that for 4.5 receptions on Sunday against the Giants. I'm taking more on that. And they also have great deals. Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, they have free squares, more than half a passer. They're going to step on the field and get that. So make sure you guys check out Sleeper. Also on Sleeper, you have a chance to 1,000 times your cash on daily fantasy football on Sleeper. Check it out. Terms and conditions apply. So the pick, like I said, I'm giving for you guys on Sleeper is Terry McLaurin, more than 4.5 receptions, and then take the free square with Joe Burrow, more of a half a passing yard, which is just insane. It's just a great deal that they're giving. Free money, a free play that they're giving on Sleeper. Great deal. Terms and conditions apply on Sleeper. Like I said, first-time users, 100% deposit match up to $100. Click on the link down below in the description and use promo code Oliver. Let's get back to the video. Peace. Yeah, so my pick, they don't have a lot of stuff on the board for us because on Sleeper because of the whole quarterback situation. They were waiting on who we were going to start. So, but I do think they're going to put out Terry McLaurin more than 4.5 receptions. I would take the more on that. I think that he finally gets going. Just like last year, the third game of the season, I think he finally gets going. We target him a lot. Marcus targets him a lot. Marcus did a good job of getting him the football in the Panthers game. He did a good job of getting Terry the football in the Cowboys game last year as well. Brock Bowers, I would take the more on his receiving yards. This defense has to prove to me that they can slow down a tight end. And it could be Michael Mayer. Who knows who would hurt us at the tight end position. I know Brock Bowers is not 100% himself right now, but I still think that Brock Bowers, I think his more is like 67.5 receiving yards, which is really, really high. It might be either 57 or 67.5 receiving yards, which is really, really, really high, but he's capable of doing. We just, not Luke Musgrave, but Tucker Kraft had 125 receiving yards. The Giants' tight ends didn't go crazy like that. They just don't have talent at the tight end position like the Green Bay Packers do or like the Raiders do. But I do think we are going to give up some yards to the tight end position again. So that's why I'm taking more on, what's his name again? Brock Bowers. And I'm going to take more on Terry McLaurin. Finally, Terry gets going. All right, so injury report. John Bates, I don't think he's going to play. Noah Brown, he was DNP yesterday. Jayden Daniels DNP yesterday. He's not going to play. Debo did not participate for personal reasons, but he's most likely is going to play. Trey Amos limited with a shoulder injury. He's going to play. Brandon Coleman limited with a shoulder injury. He's going to play. Jeremy McNichols limited hamstring injury. He's going to play. And Colson Yankoff hip injury. He's going to play with the limit. He was limited with the hip injury. On the Vegas side, of course, Brock Bowers limited. He's going to play. Jeremy Chin limited pectoral injury. The former commander. He's going to play. DeCamarion Richardson, hamstring injury, limited. He's going to play most likely. Jackson Powers Johnson, concussion, who has not been good this year for the Raiders. Their guard/center. He's a full participant. He's going to play. Justin Shorter, their wide receiver with a knee injury, full participant. He's going to play as well. All right. So let's go to narratives here, like storylines. So Marcus Mariota revenge game against the Raiders. Chip Kelly was also Marcus Mariota's coach at Oregon, and he's the offensive coordinator for the Raiders. Remember, Chip Kelly, we almost hired him too here. It was between him and Cliff, I think. There was rumors that we were going to hire Chip Kelly or that he was a strong candidate. We ended up going with Cliff. I think there was a rumor that Cliff was going to go to the Raiders like a couple years ago too before we offered him the job, like the season before, like in 2023, I think Cliff had a chance to go to the Raiders, if I'm not mistaken. He didn't. He ended up not going. It might have been that same offseason, actually. Of course, Tom Brady in the booth. Are they going to cheat? Is he going to get stuff? He's going to get information against us since we had him in the booth. He did our Giants game, so he's going to give information. Of course, people are going crazy about that. I don't think it really matters because the Raiders still got beat on and belt today by the Chargers, so I don't think it really matters whether Tom Brady's there or not. Pete Carroll, Dan Quinn, Bobby Wagner, they have that Seahawks connection there. Ken Norton Jr., so familiar faces there for sure. I think that's all the ties that we have between each team. Geno Smith just put up the middle fingers to fans in the preseason. I do remember that. I think that's really about it for like storylines and stuff like that. You know, Dan Quinn and Pete Carroll, a very, very, very close. Same thing with Bobby Wagner and Ken Norton Jr. All those guys for sure. All right. So keys to victory here, guys. I started with the offense. Chip and double team Max Crosby. Josh Connolly, he is going to be a target. Teams are going to come after him. They're going to keep doing it over and over again. And yes, I get it. He played against Brian Burns, Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, Micah Parsons. It does not get any easier from here, guys. And that's how you get better. You go against the best guys. If we want to have Super Bowl aspirations and NFC Championship again aspirations, those are the type of guys you're going to have to go against. And it's not going to get it's going to get easier, of course, than Micah Parsons and some of the Giants pass rushers and Max Crosby with the Falcons game and some of the other games. But it's still going to be tough. They still are capable of giving Josh Connolly problems. You can't leave him out there on the island like he was against Micah Parsons. You're just going to have to help him. You're going to have to help him. And if it doesn't work, then do the splitting snaps with Andrew Wiley like you did with Brandon Coleman and Cornelius Lucas, or split snaps with George Fant, whoever, with a veteran tackle. Now, Andrew Wiley may not be way, way better, but I think he'll be more competent because he's been in the league for a long time. He's won 2 Super Bowls, and he wasn't awful. He wasn't giving up pressures like Josh Connolly has. And if he needs to be benched, it is what it is. Like, you know, people are saying don't bench because of his confidence. I don't want to see him get another quarterback hurt. He's the one that gave the pressure on Jayden Daniels, where Jayden Daniels got the hip drop tackle taken on him. So I get the development and stuff like that. And remember, life's not fair. I get it. Adam Peters drafted Josh Connolly at left tackle and then transitioned him to right tackle, which he never played. He struggled at right tackle in the Senior Bowl. He got pancaked by Mike Green. So there were some concerns coming out of college, just his functional strength as well. And he needs to develop that. So it is what it is. There's a learning curve for rookie. Not every rookie's going to come out the gate just stonewalling people like they're Trent Williams when he was here with the Skins. That just doesn't work like that at left tackle. There's been a lot of left tackle busts that we've seen. Now, we haven't drafted busts like the Giants have with Eric Flowers, Evan Neal, and guys like that. But and Eric Flowers ended up being a good guard for us. But, you know, there are times where guys just aren't good enough. And, you know, we should have drafted Christian Darrisaw a couple years ago, but it is what it is on that too. But I do believe in Josh Connolly. You're just going to have to help him against a dog of Max Crosby, who's a perennial Pro Bowler, legitimate top defensive end in the NFL. Between him, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, throw those names out there and you can just argue amongst yourselves. But Max Crosby is a darn good player, and he plays with his hair on fire. Mad Max is what they call him for a reason. So he's gonna get pressures. It is what it is. He's gonna get pressures. He's gonna make some plays. He is. But we got to get the ball out quick hitters, screen plays. Let's get some design runs into it, Marcus Mariota. I want to say that, but you have to run the football and keep them on their toes. Give the ball to Bill. 4 carries against the Packers was inexcusable. He needs at least 10 carries, at least 10. I know it's a committee, so he's probably not going to get like 15 to 18, 20 carries or nothing like that. But I think at least 10 to 15 is about right. It cannot be 4. It has to be in the double digits. McNichols get involved as well. I want to see C-Rod active. I want to see him get some carries on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 situations or goal line situations. It could be Bill too, but C-Rod's a tough runner. He's a mean runner. He's a physical runner. I want to see him out there for sure. I want to see him active on Sunday. Terry, get him the ball. I already said that. Target Debo. Chris Moore. We need a 3rd receiver to step up, whether it's Chris Moore. I know it's crazy to say Chris Moore. Jalen Lane, Luke McCaffrey. We need pulse, a heartbeat from the 3rd receiver with Noah Brown being out. Zach, we know what he's going to do. Ben Sinnott is going to be huge. Between him, Yankov, or Lawrence Cager, if Cager's active, Ben Sinnott is going to have to step up and be that and have that John Bates role. Can he catch a pass? Can he do something? Can he have a pulse out there as well? Colson Yankov, I like him a lot too. I don't really care who does it. I don't really care. I don't care about draft status. If you're a 2nd round pick, if Colson Yankov goes out there and plays better, play Colson Yankov. If Lawrence Cager goes out there and plays better than Ben Sinnott, or he's the best tight end out there other than Zach or Zach Ertz, play Lawrence Cager. That's just how I feel at this point. I don't really care about development. Of course, we still care about it, but, you know, we just got to win games because we're a playoff team. And it's a tough, thin line between development and winning games. And some guys, you know, they may just not get there. And I don't know. I just still have a big question mark for Ben Sinnott. Up tempo, no huddle, keep them on their heels. Go back to our identity. We need to go for it on 4th downs. If it's 3rd and 4 or 4th and 4 in the Raiders territory, I'm going for it. If it's 4th and 4 and it's a 58-yard field goal, I'm going for it. I do not trust Matt Gay. Don't trust him. He has not given us any reason to trust him so far at this point. So get back to us being aggressive. I know it's not Jayden out there, but I still think Marcus is capable of doing it. You may be a little bit more conservative, but Marcus Mariota still has the wills to do that 4th and 1 design run that he did against the Cowboys, different things like that. Start fast, of course. Use Debo in the run game as a weapon. Screen plays, just like we did against the Giants. Jet sweeps. Use him as a weapon. Use Terry. Get him involved often and early and target him and run the football with Bill, C-Rod, and Jeremy McNichols as well. Take those shots deep, but I think their defense. So they're ranked 27th in pass yards allowed. Darnay Holmes has struggled. As I was saying, the Raiders, their pass defense is ranked in 20. They're ranked 27th in pass yards allowed. They let Quentin Johnson have 71 yards receiving against them. Kayshon Boutte had about 100-something receiving yards against them as well. So they have given up a lot through the air. Darnay Holmes is the guy that I think we can really, really go after. He's their slot corner. Move Terry around. Get him in slot situations. Debo matched up against Darnay Holmes. You can really go after him. Eric Stokes. Their corners, they can be had for sure. They give up big plays. They gave up big passing plays against the Patriots, and they gave up a couple of big passing plays against the Chargers as well. So I really feel like Marcus Mariota can definitely get them. They play a lot of they play a lot of cover 3 as well. So if our pass protection can hold up, you can really get the ball to Terry McLaurin early and often and make some big play and get some big plays to our receivers. So that's how I feel about their defense. But once again, they have some good pass rushers. Malcolm Kuntz, the defensive tackle, has 3 sacks. Jana Lealu. So they have some good players. Jeremy Chinn's a good player too. Their free safety, Isaiah Palomalu, has struggled this year so far too. So you really go after him and target him in coverage as well. All right. Let's move over to the defensive side of the ball. Some keys that I have for against the Raiders. Now, you look at Geno Smith. He leads the league in interceptions. They are tied for 4th in sacks allowed with 7. They have the 31st rushing attack in the league. Do not let this be the get-right game against Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty has been complaining in press conferences about not getting the football. He struggles in pass protection. This is the game where I need Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner to blow up Ashton Jeanty and get to the quarterback and get to Geno Smith. Geno Smith is a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. He's a good quarterback. He's a top 20, 15 quarterback. Has a couple good years with the Seahawks. Had a career renaissance where he struggled with the Jets. Got punched in his face. But he had a couple good years. Went to the playoffs with the Seahawks. But there's a good Geno and a bad Geno. We saw bad Geno against the Chargers. I don't think he's going to struggle as much as he did against the Chargers. I think he's actually going to have a solid game. Kind of similar to the Patriots game. Not like 300 yards throwing the football. But he's going to make some plays. Like, he's going to make some passes to Jacoby Myers, Dante Thornton. Marshawn Lattimore is the X factor for me, man. How does he play? No penalties. And they're going to go after him. Trey Amos is our best corner. Mikey Sanders still has to step up too. No John Jones. No I's got to step up. I don't know. I don't even know who our 5th corner is at this point. I don't even know who our 5th corner is. Is it Carlin Vigors or somebody else? They're moving Antonio Holmes. They're moving up from the practice squad. Of course, we got to pressure Geno. Interior pressure is going to be huge. Javon Kinlaw, Deron Payne, Johnny Newton. I need you guys to play like you did against the Giants. Dorrance Armstrong, same thing. Von Miller need him to wake up. Preston Smith, I want to see him get involved. I want to see him get some snaps. Javonte John Baptiste, most likely he's going to be starting, but I want to see Preston Smith out there causing havoc and wreaking havoc for sure. Like I said earlier, Dylan Parham has really struggled this year. He's been one of the worst guards in the NFL. He's given up a bunch of pressures. Right now, he has a 48.0 PFF grade, run block grade of 55.5, pass blocking grade of 42.5. Pressures allowed 9, which is dead last, and penalties, he has 3 penalties on the season, which is dead last as well. He is the weak link on their offensive line. Javon Kinlaw and Deron Payne should feast against Dylan Parham. Nothing cheap, nothing deep. Do not let Dante Thornton get behind you. Do not let Jacoby Myers get behind you. Trey Rucker, Jack Betch, Brock Bowers, those guys can hurt you. We have to defend the tight end position way better than what we did against the Packers. So those are my keys, really. Ashton Jeanty, 0.2 yards before contact, which is terrible, but he's leading the league in enforced missed tackles, so we really have to slow down the run. We got to keep him under 50 yards. And Trey Amos, I don't want to see him get trucked again because Ashton Jeanty did truck somebody last week against the Chargers on Monday. So tackle, wrap up. We've done a solid job against the run so far. I thought we did a solid job against Josh Jacobs. Even though he got 84 rushing yards, he had 23 attempts. So I thought we did a solid job for the most part. And that's really a third down defense as always, but we got to get pressure, man. We got to get pressure, got to tackle. The corners have to play better and just not let people get behind us for sure. And Geno will make a mistake. Ball is life. Can we force a turnover? Can we catch the football? Can we not get a penalty on an interception? Frankie Louvu, can he wake up and make a play? and force a fumble or something like that. That's what I need to see from these guys. That's what I really, 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 really need to see. So, all right. Special teams, like I said already, Jalen Lane, good returns. Debo, I thought he had a good return last game too. Keep that up with that. No muff punts or anything like that. Luke McCaffrey has been a solid returner so far as well. But clock management is always, always important. We have not been good with managing the clock before halftime, at the end of the game, 2-minute warning stuff, timeouts, losing all our timeouts in the Giants game with 8 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter is inexcusable stuff. So we have to be better. The Dan Quinn, Cliff, and Marcus, they have to be on the same page with that stuff for sure. And try. I don't know what we're gonna do with Matt Gay. Like I said, certain situations. It's supposed to be a good weather game. It's supposed to be warm as well, like good weather, like 79, 80 degrees. It's a sellout. So no excuses for Matt Gay, man. I think if he misses like a 45 or a 50-yard kick, it's time to move on. That's just how I feel about Matt Gay. Game prediction. I got us winning. It's going to be a close game. I think 23-17. We win this game. I think the defense has a better showing. I think we actually do force a turnover. I think we have a solid game with Terry, Debo. It's going to be hard to run the ball on the Raiders. The Raiders have done a good job against the Chargers stopping the run. They did a good job against the Patriots stopping the run with Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson, Antonio Gibson. They slowed him down. They slowed down Amarion Hampton. So it's not like a game where we can just go out there and run the football. But we have to try and not give up on it. But I think Marcus Mariota is going to do a good job of being calm, reading the defense, getting guys involved. I think Marcus Mariota is going to do a good job of that, having that veteran leadership as well. So I do think we come up victorious, 23-17. I think we win the turnover battle, which is going to be huge. And I do think we convert on at least 2 fourth downs. Bill gets like 50 rushing yards or something like that. Terry goes off and finally shows why he got the big contract again. And I think that's just how we win this game, 23-17. And we prevail. And Josh Connolly does get some help out there. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. And the sky is not falling anymore. Everybody's panicking because we got beat by the best team in the league in the Packers. And everybody's just panicking, going crazy. So, all right, you guys enjoy your weekend. You guys let me know what you guys think. As always, Healthy Commanders. Peace.